Good morning, my friends. Welcome to Headlines, and I'm Zoe. Have you noticed that movies are getting longer and longer nowadays? The other day, I watched Martin Scorsese's The Killers of the Flower Moon and Nolan's Oppenheimer. Both of them are around 3 hours long. Well, can you imagine that? Just sitting there for 3 hours for a movie, especially the ones that were not that gripping and heart-pounding. 不知道大家有没有发现，现在很多名导大片动不动就2-3个小时。And today, the article from The Economist is going to explore why films have become so ridiculously long.Popular films are nearly 50% longer today than in the 1930s. 现在的电影比100年前长了 50%. You know, I happened to read this article after I watched The Killers of the Flower Moon. I was like, wow, finally there is someone who felt the same and want to discuss about the length of the movies.The Killer of the Flower Moon, a grisly western from the director Martin Scorsese, at nearly 3.5 hours. Its length is nearly double that of the average film last year. Even movie buffs struggled to concentrate for that long. During the premiere, some viewers dozed off. Afterwards, there is a mad dash for the toilets. When did watching a film become such a slog?A grisly western is the western true crime thriller. Grisly is horrible or disgusting. Notice even if it ends with ly, it is an adjective. 咱们这里的 grisly 是惊悚，也可以说 grisly murders, discoveries, or headlines. 骇人听闻的发现、谋杀或一些标题。Western 可以指西方人或西部片。Movie buffs are people who like watching movies and know a lot about them. 你也可以说 a jazz buff. Buff 也可以和肌肉相关。You look really buff.你看起来真的很壮。Doze off is to fall into a light sleep. 打瞌睡。A mad dash is a mad rush. 看电影的时候，大家很容易打瞌睡。看完之后呢，纷纷冲向厕所。Become such a slog. A slog is a labor or something that needs great efforts. Something is a hard slog or something is a long slog. 是一个长途跋涉特别艰难的一个任务。Or you could use the phrasal verb and slog through. Slog through pages of pages reports.那什么时候呢？看电影变成了一个让人感觉很艰难的事情。Filmmakers began churning out protracted pictures in the earlier 1960s. Cinema was booming and auteurs wanted to distinguish their art from television. Epics graced the silver screen, including Lawrence of Arabia and Cleopatra. Back then, audiences enjoyed intermission, while the projectionists prepared their reels for the next act. Running times of popular films ebbs and flows, but they have ballooned since 2080.So many words you have to know. Churn out, 学过了，大量的快速的生产。For example, chatbots churn out racist medical information. 产生了大量的医疗信息。Protracted pictures are long pictures. Usually protracted comes with something unpleasant. For example, a protracted war or a battle. 旷日持久的战争斗争。A protracted period of low growth.长久的慢速增长。Epics grace the silver screen. 史诗片让大银幕增辉。Grace something is to make something attractive. Ebb and flow 学过了，月经周期那一期，起起伏伏。Balloon 气球，对吧？ Something balloons is something expands or rises. The population have ballooned.Franchises are one driver of this trend. Studios want to squeeze the most out of their costly intellectual property, and they are competing with streaming platforms for eyeballs. And this approach has often paid off. Avenger Marvel's 3-hour superhero extravaganza was the highest grossing film in 2019. Franchise 是特许经营权 Superhero extravaganza 超级英雄的盛宴你也可以说 fireworks or musical extravaganza or capital extravaganza 音乐的盛宴资本的盛宴都可以用这个词影视公司一方面要把版权榨干同时也要和流媒体平台竞争And the drawback of the protracted runtime is that long movies can mean forego 2 showings per night, which hurt ticket sales and profits. Forego is to give up unwittingly. 长电影的一个坏处就是你一晚上只能看1部电影了，这对票房是有伤害的。Well, movie studios, you just can't have it both ways. Another explanation for longer films has to do with director growing clouds. Who would dare tell the likes of Mr. Nolan to trim his masterpieces? Streamers...We should not have to worry as much about concision because viewers can pause whenever they like. Might lure big names with deep pockets and promises of creative freedom. Clout here is power and influence. 电影时长增加的另外一个原因就是导演日益增加的影响力 growing clout. How companies can capitalize on the cultural clout. 如何利用文化的影响力 ，capitalized on 是利用的意思。但是谁敢给大导提建议让他精简影片呢？同时流媒体的观众也可以随时暂停下来，所以长就长吧。Lure big names with deep pockets， 吸引有钱的大人物 deep pockets。He has deep pockets， 他很有钱。长篇长可以吸引大导或者有钱的投资人，并且能够承诺创意的自由。That may sound legitimate in movie industry, but think about the viewers, right? Sometimes I just feel it's a slog or a torture to watch a long movie. All right, so this is the article from The Economist. Yes, they would rather use clout than influence, but it seems to be a good opportunity for us to learn some languages. So this is Zoe, and thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.